here's the current forecast for Sandy, and we are approximately here. So as you can see, we're going to be well in the path of some weather. So here we are at the fuel dock at Deltaville Marina, and it is Saturday morning, a couple days before Sandy is expected to hit. And as you can see, it's just a normal high tide this morning, but the water is pretty close to the top of the dock already. This is a fixed dock. It's only maybe a foot below our rub rail, so this is not a great spot for us to be. This slip, which is the 75-ton travel lift slip, was our only other option for staying here in Deltaville. It's barely wide enough to accommodate us, but we do fit into it. We've been in this slip a few times before, but here's the problem. These are big steel sides, and if that storm surge is 4 feet or so, our hull could potentially get up above that, causing the potential for more damage. So we have decided that the boat is probably less at risk out at anchor than in this slip. So they're just hauling boats just as fast as they possibly can. There's a long line of boats still waiting to be hauled out. First thing Saturday morning, they worked well into the night last night. So we spent yesterday making preparations for the hurricane, getting everything that could possibly blow secured. You can see we've got extra ties on the tender. We've removed the cover. The antenna is down. It's secured. Everything is out of the tender. Our kayak here has extra ties on it. We removed everything that was in our little deck box there, the soft-sided one. The crane is well secured, and everything from this deck that could possibly blow away has been stowed somewhere. From the tender, and this is it stored behind the helm chairs and the fly bridge. All the cushions are removed from the fly bridge. Hatches are taped down to prevent water from getting inside. Our table is covered, but we've got it secured with extra string. Our instruments are covered, and again, we've taken the precaution of taping down the cover. So this is the watch berth in the pilot house, and we've used this to store all of the cushions from the flybridge settee and some. This is the head in the guest cabin, and again, we've used it to store a variety of gear. So we're now anchored here in Fishing Bay. It's Saturday afternoon. There's just us and one other sailboat here. This is one of the displays that we use to ensure that we're not dragging anchor. This is our Nobletech chart plotting system, and the boat really shows our current position here in Fishing Bay. The pink splotchy line is our track line, which automatically is plotted by Nobletech, and this represents our movement since we have dropped anchor. The divider lines that I've put on the chart show each one 70 meters from the spot where we've anchored, so you can see that even though we're moving around a little bit, we're really not straying very far from where we have actually anchored. This is our wind gauge, which shows the wind direction coming right now out of 17 degrees, which is northeast, currently blowing at 15 knots with a max gust this morning of 33 knots. So we'll be keeping an eye on this. Yay, it's Sunday morning, and it's a gray, sort of misty day out. one result of slow, steady rain, which we're having now, is that it helps you find all the little leaks in the boat. So we do have a small leak we've been battling before, but it's still here in the guest cabin. So we're out here just doing an anchor check, making sure that we're not getting chafe on our snubber line, making sure that our anchor is still in good shape, and we don't see any obvious problems. Having a very slow, steady rain, and some of the docks and nearby marina and some of the private homes are rapidly approaching being underwater, and the storm really hasn't even started yet, so we're already experiencing the effects of a great deal of rainfall. It's only going to get worse. Things looking okay up here. Just doing a check. So last night after dark we lost our snubber line, which chafed and broke, losing the snubber line and the claw attached to it, so we had to improvise a new one. Unfortunately it was after dark, which made it that much more exciting. But we also took the opportunity to put out a lot more anchor chain, so we now have 125 meters out, which is over 350 feet. So we are still riding comfortably. And this is our new location. This is where we were yesterday, and then last night when we put more chain out, we've changed our position to here, but we're still holding pretty well and pretty steady. Winds have consistently today been up in the 40 knot range, gusts up into the high 40s, but so far we're quite comfortable. Okay, it is Monday morning. It's howling pretty good out there. Winds are in the 40 knot range right now. We've seen gusts up in the high 40s, and we're about to go out on deck and check our anchor line and snubber. All right, we're headed out.
Hold on to that camera, dear.
Yep, I'm holding on to the camera. Rain's let up a bit. Rubber coat and protect the line from chafe. looks like some of our tie downs have come off of these helm chairs. Alright, it took a while to get that untangled. We're getting the chairs retied. We're hanging our gear here in the engine room to dry.
I think it's a good idea to keep the engines warm and ready to go too.
Yep. So we had the engines on while we were outside, just in the event of an emergency. But now the engine room's nice and toasty, so it'll be a good drying area. And there's our snubber set up from inside the pilot house. Right now our winds are in the low 30s. We're still seeing gusts into the 40s. So far our highest gust is still 47. It's Monday night and we're now getting probably the worst of it. Winds in the 30s and 40s, frequent gusts up into the 50s now. We're still holding steady. It's Tuesday morning and the worst of it is over. We had a rocking and rolling night last night with winds in the 45 to 50 knot range consistently and gusts up into the mid-50s, our highest being 57. But the storm for now seems to mostly have passed. It's a little rough out there, still a little bit of rain, and it's very cold, but otherwise we're safe and sound. Our winds have now shifted around a little bit to the southwest, and they're blowing right now about 20 to 25 knots, but easing. You can see our pressure starting to come up. It's at 988, our barometric pressure. That was down as low as 970, 975-ish. And you can see it's a little chilly out there. It's 34 degrees Fahrenheit this morning. At least we don't have snow. It's Tuesday morning and Sandy has passed on by. You can still see the aftermath here of breaking waves up on the seawall over there on shore, and the sea state here is still a bit unsettled, but we hope that's going to calm down over the next couple of days. It's Wednesday morning after Sandy, and this is quite a welcome sight. So we're getting ready to head back into the marina, and one of the things we have to do is re-inflate our inflatable fenders, which we had stored and deflated during the hurricane.